Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Heart and Hustle podcast, episode number 12. I've been really great these past few weeks, giving her pretty much all the heart with all the podcasts.
Okay.
I always let her go first. But today we're going to talk about hustle. So, anyways, stay tuned. 1 second. So, the big question is this. How are leaders like you that recognize people and technology are the backbone of the company they're building continue to make progress when they have no clear idea on how to develop individuals and utilize technology in a way that helps them remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. This is Tom and Michaela, and welcome to the Heart and Hustle podcast. All right, we're going for episode number 12 here of the Heart and Hustle podcast. Haley/Victoria, who's ever doing the editing for this week. To be determined. I think we're going to have like an editing face-off between the two, just for the fun of it, to see what happens.
Oh my.
Mono e mono. Is that how that goes?
I guess.
Anyways.
They're both doing an awesome job.
They're both doing an awesome job. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We were talking about this the other day, and at least you and I were.
Yeah.
In these past few episodes, maybe the past probably 11, we've been really focused on probably more the people side, the HR side. Last week I think was good with the mental health, the state of mental health inside these companies and the employees. But one thing that's been really hitting home a lot lately is, I enjoy TikTok like everybody else does.
Yes, you do.
And you. I'm more of a consumer at this point. Some posting, I guess. But you're seeing all these kids that are posting that, they're making a ton of money through Amazon FBA. They're making a ton of money through affiliate marketing. They're making a ton of money over, whatever it is. You click these links, you upload these videos, you set your AI on YouTube to autopilot, basically download videos and upload them to a different channel, and they're all, free of copyright and everything else. And you just watch the views and watch the money. And it irritates the crap out of me because I don't think they understand what it takes, to really run a business and to actually start up a business and become more of just a job or a pastime or a hustle, or actually trying just to run an organization, even with one employee or two employees. The amount of time and effort it takes just to build that company.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
You're watching TikToks that are 30 seconds long, and these 22-year-olds are talking about how they're making $30,000 a month doing this, and all you need is this much time a day, and you plug this dongle in and just watch your money grow. And it's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you're referencing the one of Helium, where it's a Wi-Fi router you put up on your network. And,
yeah, that too.
Yeah, and it connects all this stuff, and cool, but it's like, does it really work, and is it really needed?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really talk too much about it because I think most of it's just crap anyway. So I'm not sure about your thoughts.
Well, it makes me mad because we have young people out there. We have people out there who are kind of expecting to make this big money overnight. And when it doesn't happen, they get depressed and they're angry and they don't know what to do with their lives and they're frustrated. And it's like, okay, let's get back to reality, everybody. And let's talk about what it really takes to make money and have a job. And even if you don't want a job, you want to run your own business, what does that look like? I mean, it's not just sitting around for a couple hours a day and watching your money grow. It just doesn't work like that.
No, I think it's, a failure of them. I think, honestly, it's a failure of their parenting. Some of these kids grew up with everything, given everything, given their cars when they're 16 years old. They're given sometimes free education. They're given everything. They just don't have to work for it. Mommy and daddy gave it to them, and now they're at the point where they have to grow up a little bit, and pretty soon, here we go. Because most of the kids that I know, my kids are fortunate too, and obviously yours are too. But most of these folks anymore, they're able to go to college, enjoy their 4 or 5 years, not really have a job, have no experience, have everything paid for them. And when they graduate, there's nothing. And sometimes mom and dad are still buying them stuff. So they just don't know the meaning of hard work and what that actually means. But yet they want to be that entrepreneur and start their own company and have all these dollars and not understand what it takes to actually run that business. We're, as it's no secret, we're starting a nonprofit called Jason's Heart. And, that's that on top of Heart and Hustle, on top of Soaring Group, on top of the things that I'm trying to do and the things that you're trying to do, and run a couple different locations, it's a tremendous amount of work.
It's a huge amount of work.
It's every day, bro.
Every day, bro.
Yeah. It's every day, bro. I said it's every day, bro. I like Jake Paul. So, anyways, but you think of the time and the effort spent to actually do this, and I don't think these kids nowadays, or even some of these adults that are trying to run their companies, they just don't understand the amount of work.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. It's like that hustle. It's just 24/7.
So what has that meant for you over the last 20, 25 years?
I don't know a difference of it. So I personally, I enjoy it. I don't know what it means to really calm down and not do that. It's like you get one business off the ground, you just want to get another one going, right? So, and keep on growing and keep on changing and keep on, experience it. So
It's funny, I came across I think I was on Instagram or something tonight, and I came across a quote that hit me really hard. It said something like, an ambitious woman either needs a supportive partner or no partner at all. And that actually hit me pretty hard because I've been in situations where I just didn't necessarily have that support. And I think you and I support each other in a myriad of ways. And I mean, I don't think we could do what we do without each other. And we're very supportive, and we've gone through good times and hard times and busy times
Absolutely.
and slower times. And it's just like, I don't know if I could do everything that we're doing without you.
No, and I agree with that too. I mean, you've got to have that partner that's 100% supportive of you and behind you. And if they're not, sometimes you're gonna have to make some hard decisions in life. Is it really that important to really grow and do what you want to do and have that non-supported partner behind you, a friend, relative, or family? And sometimes,
That's not necessarily a positive view these days, ever.
No.
Actually,
it's not
ever.
a positive view.
Ever.
No, it really doesn't. But at the end of the day, though, I mean, I think some people don't address those issues, when they first meet or when they, first start to date somebody or get involved with somebody, because if their passion is really to do with what they want to do, and both folks, partners have to understand that it's going to take a lot of time and effort and commitment to actually make that happen.
Yeah. And I think people change and evolve over time too. And you're not the same person you were 20 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it may be. And what do you do in those situations?
Hopefully you pray that your partner is evolved as well in that same direction.
Yeah.
Otherwise, life happens.
Life happens.
Life happens. So I don't know, it's like your shirt, I love that shirt. One is greater than zero. And, that was it is when you're starting out, you're trying to get that first client, that first customer, and you get depressed because it's only one, but you just got to remember it's greater than zero.
Mm-hmm.
So, these past few weeks, we've been just blessed. We've had phone call after phone call with, new clients and new business coming in, and, we're a reoccurring business. So, at the end of the day, we don't need to sell something every day of the week to stay fed. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you hear clients that are talking to other clients and people and being referred just because of the work that we do and try to do, and so on and so forth. And it's a wonderful position to be in. So you can actually try to pick and choose who you want to work with in life and clients, and kind of focus on what you want to do and grow, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. So, but just the amount of work involved, and people think it's, hey, let's go on vacation. As an entrepreneur, I have my time free, and you mm-hmm. do. That is the most valuable asset that I have right now, is just time. I mean, able to plan accordingly and do what you need to. But at the end of the day, you're always constantly on.
You can plan accordingly and do what you need to ish, like to an extent. We have obligations that we cannot just, no. Like we go on vacation and you're on the phone or dealing with issues half the time.
I think there's a different level of CEOs or entrepreneurs or leaders, and there's certain ones that are operating, certain ones that are on the fringes. I know a lot of CEOs in my position that, they're not operators. They like the job, they have the title, they do the paperwork, they do the budgets, they do the executive stuff, and that's where it stops. And a lot of those folks are not working inside of the business every day. They're not the ones that are trying to make it run. They have a good team around them, but at the end of the day, they kind of lose touch. And I think some of those individuals have a tough time relating into the employee base that are there. I know in our world, we're very much in touch. So, when it's midnight, when it's 1 a.m. in the morning and, we get those calls and trying to really figure out what's going on, oftentimes I'm right in the mix with them. So just trying to make sure that things are good. And I don't know if I could ever change, because I think at that point you start to lose your credibility a little bit. You always want to have that touch and be able to understand what you're talking about, that you actually know, if that makes sense. What that means is
I
like,
gotcha.
yeah. So like if you're trying to describe something to somebody, about whatever it is you're talking about, you got to command, the ability that you understand it, you know it, you can architect it, you are you have the ability to actually do it, and then you can actually talk about it, because so many of these entrepreneurs have, my dev team back behind me, or, they have their sales team over there. And, at that level, when you're small or medium or sometimes even large, in my world, you better know how to do everything from A to Z, and you better have a good team behind you, because sometimes when that growth happens fast, you got to be able to move and pivot and understand what's going on. But at the end of the day, when you have growth that dives, and unfortunately you have to make some hard decisions on letting people go or what you have to do, I mean, you're still going to have to understand how to actually do the job, because you may have to go back to that entry level job a little bit just to help out throughout the day. So you kind of got to run up and down the field, player coach. It may not be the best view for everybody, but for me, it's like I always want to be that practitioner. I always want to be understanding what I have to do. And
So you don't ever see yourself not being that practitioner?
there becomes a point in time when I get it. I'm never going to lose the ability to do what I do and grow from there. I'll never lose that ability, because I think you stay credible. Because when you talk to individuals, when you're trying to sell, your business, your product, your service, or whatever you're trying to do, and you're out in front of talking to certain individuals, they can kind of smell that person that is just talking the talk. And we've all seen it. You've seen it when that salesperson comes in here and they always say, yeah, let me get the expert, or let me talk to someone else. And you just want to know the answer. But if I say that at the position that I'm in, people would, I think, call out and say, well, you really don't know what you're talking about. And for me, that's just hard personally. That's not for everybody, but it's hard for me personally not to know the answers.
So that means you're not only, running the business, dealing with the budgets, dealing with the hiring and firing, and being a practitioner, dealing with the daily tickets and the issues here and there. How do you, at what point do you okay, there's only one of me, I need to...
Well, I think at that point, you have people around you. You have really good people around you that can deal with a lot of that stuff. What I'm saying is more of, having the ability or the know-how to actually do it, not necessarily always doing it, but having the ability of kind of always having that edge, being able to accomplish it. Because there's nothing worse that I think than not having the ability to do something, and you can, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say here, but not having the ability to actually do something, but you're talking about it in a way that you're portraying yourself as an expert. And I can say this in the server world, and take an example like an Exchange server for those people that know it, and an email server. I always took the notion that, if an Exchange server breaks, if that goes offline, it really separates the men from the boys in that one, because sometimes when those things break, they break hard and they don't come back. Me, or people that I know, I'm not afraid to manipulate, upgrade those, change those out, take down information stores. I'm not afraid to do anything to it, because whatever situation that it is, if it broke, I can fix it. So I'm not afraid to take the thing apart, because I can put it back together. So it's like a really good mechanic in a car. He can come in, or she can come in and take the entire car apart and know how to put it back together. There's individuals that say, hey, I can take your car apart, or I can fix that part. And pretty soon all the pieces are, everywhere, and things are exploded out, and it's broke. Now they're calling you to come back and fix it. So it's not necessarily the the effort or the time to actually do it, but the know-how to actually accomplish it. And that's where I think you stay fresh.
Well, and I think one of the things that makes you a little bit different is that you know your clients so well. Like you know them on a level that most companies don't really understand. And that's kind of, I mean, it's the basis of what we do, but you sit on those leadership teams, you sit with their boards, you talk with those CEOs on a regular basis, and you understand their entire business, not just what they're doing in IT,
Correct.
but their entire business. And so you give them advice and you help them along in ways that a lot of companies can't and don't. And I think that, I mean, that's why you have the long-term clients and customers that you do, is because they know that you care and they know that you know them and want to help them along. And
Well,
it makes it goes back to that. You're always on because somebody always needs you, because there's something always happening with somebody in one of our clients. There's always something happening.
Right.
And so you're always on.
Yeah.
And that, back to that hustle that you're talking about, just what it takes to keep your customers happy, keep your clients happy, to keep going on a daily basis.
Yeah, you definitely got to have a love for it, that's for sure. It's like you got to have the passion to keep moving. But back to your original comment of knowing the business, I mean, it's the same thing as taking that car apart. I mean, if you're at a position inside of a company, whether you're, a director, a leader, executive director, wherever that may be sitting, you have got to know how that company operates. The IT director inside of a large company better understand some of the marketing that the company does. They better understand how the salesmen are selling. They better understand how HR is running with individuals that they're working with. I mean, you got to understand all facets. And I learned that many, many years ago, is that when you understand that, and you can actually get to the role at which, you can sit in the CEO seat, in that hot seat, to make the decisions, some of the calls on a daily basis that he or she have to make. At that point, I feel that I can start to contribute to that team, because I know that if I twist this gear over here, the ball's going to fall out over there. That if you apply too much pressure over here, it makes Joan in accounting upset. So you really get to know that. But in order to know that, you're going to have to understand the people that you're working with. You're going to have to understand the behaviors. You're going to have to understand the business, how they make their money, how they're tackling their spending, how their objectives are going. But with that, you got to have deep personal relationships with the clients that you work with. And yeah, that means an occasional Friday night, hey Sue, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while, or hope you're having a great day or a great weekend or whatnot. But just always staying in touch and communication. What's not good is to go home at 5 and wrap it up and go have a beer. So you will lose touch. Mm-hmm. So it's not about the fancy cars. It's not about the fancy clothes, the fancy office. It just isn't. It's about the health and well-being of the customers, the clients, the people that you're working with.
So how do you keep yourself from burning out?
Lawn mowing.
Lawn mowing?
I get my 2 hours every week to mow my lawn.
It's Tom's personal time.
It is my personal time. No, I don't know what that means. I don't know what burnout means. I've never experienced burnout. Sure, you get tired, you get worn out a little bit, but not burnout.
So how do you deal with that when you get tired, when you get worn out, when you're just like at the end of your rope and just don't know if you can
you close your eyes
go
for
another week?
No, it's never that bad. It's you close your eyes for a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and just rest or go for a walk, and you're kind of back into it. But once you have that fire and that passion in you, it doesn't burn out.
Where does that fire and passion come from?
Mom and Dad probably had sex at the right time, and
No.
no, it's just I don't know where does it come from.
Where does it come from for you? Like, what keeps you going?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know.
I have no idea. Progress, change. It's just keep moving forward in life. Keep looking ahead, never looking back, and keep creating and building and helping, and it just comes from within, like never-ending flame, I guess. Because if it did, I mean, what's next? I mean, Soren's obviously doing well. We've grown. We're, you know, generating revenue through COVID. I mean, we're happy. We're blessed. Jason's Heart is starting, trying to get some office space for that. And, we met this morning about that, obviously. And, that's changing too. I mean, in the past 3 weeks on that alone, we're adding services and products to that nonprofit and trying to figure out some funding and, how to get grants and talk to those who know to kind of help guide a little bit on that. Because, I think that, you have 20 years of business acumen behind you and building these companies and how they're worth. And, when you get into the nonprofit world, it's just another business, a little bit different on how you generate the revenue. But at the end of the day, you keep your focus on helping people and staying close to the mission at which you set out to do, and just keep moving. So, and that will lead into something else, and that will lead into something else, and that will lead into something else, and it just ends up being one big massive circle. So, next thing you're doing, who knows, start up a pizza shop or something.
Pizza shop.
No, I don't know. How about you? What keeps you going?
Often it's just a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Every day's a new day. The sun always rises. And every once in a while, it's just a matter of sitting back and just thinking about meditating on where you are and dreaming again about where you want to be. And somehow that light always comes back on and
speak it into existence, right?
Right.
So I don't know. I'm probably a little bit like that too. So just always thinking, never stop. Where do you get your best ideas at?
Probably the shower.
Same here. Same exact thing.
What is it about the shower? It's like there's no other distractions. There's only you, the water. There's something therapeutic about it.
Right.
Also, pulling weeds. I saw your little Instagram post about you mowing the lawn and me pulling weeds, but like pulling weeds is so therapeutic for me. I don't know what it is. It's taking out all the yuck and just stepping back and looking at something beautiful again. Yeah. Like the weeds are cleared, everything's pretty. It's a lovely thing. And there's just something really therapeutic about pulling weeds. So I'm all for it.
For me, I think it's probably shower as well, and also mowing. But mowing on that big mower, it's not the same as when you have a push mower. And for me, when your hands are vibrating, on a push mower, it just starts to make me think a little bit harder.
We can always go back to the push mower.
No.
It'll take you like 6 hours instead of 2 to mow.
Probably more than that. So
yeah,
it's too much for that. So put a supercharger on the back of the mower. We'll try that first.
So what do you think over the last 25 years, the biggest thing you've learned about hustle?
Patience.
How so? What do you mean?
There is no quick wins. There is no Amazon FBA, whatever you want to do, and shipping and, special links and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And there's no quick wins. It's just, you have to sit down, be patient, work hard, put your head down and keep moving. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're the person that wants to start that company. So if you're looking forward to Saturdays or weekends, guy once said, your crap's broken, I guess. I mean, if you're actually looking forward to the weekend, if you're looking forward to that holiday, and you are an entrepreneur and you're trying to build a big business, then you got some problems. Not going to work. So as you get older, as the business gets more mature, it gets successful, then you can take some time off. But if you're worrying about money, if you're worrying about sales, if you're worrying about, Joe in accounting, if you're worrying about, systems or whatever they are, and you're still looking forward to that weekend, then you got problems. So
people don't like to talk about that these days.
No, they don't.
They like the term work-life balance.
And that does not exist. I will go on record right now. Work-life balance does not exist. It is crap. So
work-life balance and self-care are all the buzzwords right now.
It can be. It's not true.
Yeah.
That's probably kind of controversial, but I think we all have life. what's good for me is not may not be best for you or best for somebody else. And, and for me to be happy, it means that I am doing what I love to do and as much as I do it. So, and that may not be somebody else either. Somebody else may not care for that, but nobody can say what my happy spot is or what work-life balance is for me. It's not going to work from 8 to 5. That's death to me.
We've talked about that a lot.
That's
How
death.
how that would actually pretty much kill you.
It did. I worked for a very large company for a quick stint back several years ago, and the company was great. I love the people. I love the time, but I mean, it's like Fred Flintstone and the buzzer rings at 5 and everybody goes home and grabs their lunch case or their lunchbox and goes in there for the next day and you're bored as crap. Now what? Now what? So you build another company inside that company. Yeah, that's what happened, but
That's what happened.
it is what it is there.
So is it what was it that felt so restrictive to you about that?
Having the DNA that I have, I did not necessarily appreciate people telling me when I had to be at work and when I could go home and everything else because there was so much to do. And I think that's kind of where there was a lot of acceleration inside that department when I was there, not necessarily 100% on me by any means, but there was a lot of work to be done during that time in that company. And so, I did spend a lot of time after hours, but, you start to look at it and, some of the stuff that they were doing and some of the stuff that I felt probably should have been changed just didn't, so you don't get to make those decisions on what's best. And, at that time you think, the whole picture. I don't think I did. But, I think now having just a full view of everything, you're able to adjust and turn and everything else. It's kind of like that person steering that ship. It's a little dial here, a little more thrust here, a little more gas here, and so on and so forth. So I think that's the most important piece to me is being able to adjust those switches, those inlets, and those outlets as time goes. And I think with the majority of our clients, when it comes into how we work with them, we're given that ability to do what we need to make them grow. So that is what turns me on every day. So, and the people, of course, too.
Yeah, we have a lot of great people in our world.
Yeah, we do. Or have a lot of wonderful folks. Mm-hmm. Parting thoughts?
Not necessarily anything major, but it's been inspirational to watch you and learn from you. And
let's start a company up for you. Let's go do it. Let's figure something out.
I think we have enough going on.
I think we can handle a little bit more. Come on.
I doubt it.
I think we can handle a little bit more.
We got it.
I have like maybe 3 or 4 go on at once. I like the sound of that.
I think we pretty much have that right now. So
We do.
I think we're good. But no, I mean, it's been, you work harder than probably anybody I know, and yet you still take the time you need to take when you need to take it. Mm-hmm. And, we have our frustrations and there's our irritations, and sometimes we have long days and long nights and long weekends, but it's been fun to watch things change and grow over the last
Absolutely
several years, and I'm excited to see what happens over the next more several years.
I think next week when we do this podcast, I'd like to maybe peel the covers back on Jason's heart a little bit, kind of show some of the heart and hustle of what's been happening with that.
The evolution
Thus far.
Yeah. We're in the very, very beginning stages, but that started kind of in your mind several years ago, and things are just starting to come about, and that's super exciting to see and be a part of. And
I can't wait. I think it's going to be the best legacy yet. So of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish, and wrap everything up in one nice big package.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to it.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, there we go. I'm not sure. So, anyways, thanks for listening, everybody. If you want, follow Michaela and I both on Instagram and Facebook and everything else, and our links will be down below. And check us out, interact with us, ask questions, post in the comments. We're definitely always available, and we will always answer them. Probably 24/7, some weird time in the night. Who the heck knows? But
Who knows?
there you go. All right, catch you guys later. Ciao.